Today I'm going to be sharing with you 4 tips on how I stay focused during the day. But first, enjoy a quick montage of my morning routine. Staying focused has always been something that's been an internal struggle for me. Even when I was growing up, all of my school years, I always felt a little divided because on one hand, I loved being social and I loved going to school to hang out with people. And on the other hand, when I was in the classroom, I just could never stay focused. No matter what it was, no matter what the teacher was saying or what was going on, my brain was always somewhere else. My brain was always seemed to be fighting against me, seemed to be always fighting for my attention. And so I doodled a lot. And I got distracted a lot, I daydreamed a lot. I was not a good student academically because I could just never sit down and focus on something or what the teacher was saying. I got my first C when I was in 3rd grade, and honestly it just never got better for me from there. And then I recently learned that I have ADHD, and all of a sudden everything clicked and has made sense. Learning I have ADHD has helped me so much figure out where to set the right boundaries in my life so I can help myself focus, so I don't set myself up for failure. There are certain things if I don't do, I will easily become distracted and unfocused, and I'll interpret that as lazy and become really hard on myself. So through all of my observations and failures and successes, here's how I stay focused during the day. My morning routine has easily become the most important part of the day for me. And I think the reason being for that is because when I wake up on time, when I get out of bed when I say I'm going to, it proves to myself that I've overcome resistance first thing in the morning. As soon as I wake up, I'm doing something that maybe my body doesn't necessarily want to do because it's tired and it's a little bit early and it's getting out of bed. You need to find something that is motivating enough for you to get out of bed, or something that is rewarding enough for you to get out of bed. What's rewarding for me to get out of bed? Again, is to have a cup of coffee. So that's enough to get me out of bed. And then it's easier for me to put my AirPods on, and then to put my shoes on, and to get out the door. It gets this snowball effect where it becomes easier and easier and easier for me to do the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. And so if I don't get my morning routine off right, it screws my entire day up. So morning routine is the most important thing for me. Number 2, I work in my office. This one's pretty quick and pretty simple, but essentially if I'm casual about where I decide to work, my work becomes very casual. And casual for me means distraction, because again, with my ADHD, I can get distracted pretty easily throughout the day. And so if I'm sitting out on the couch, it's so much harder for me to concentrate than if I'm in this space where I've dedicated to work, which is my office. There's a great quote from the book Atomic Habits that stuck with me a lot, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it's essentially saying the difference between disciplined people and people who aren't disciplined isn't necessarily a personality trait. It's just the people that are disciplined don't put themselves in situations where they would need to be disciplined. And kind of what that means is if I just always put myself in the right place, I won't have to work so hard to be disciplined or to focus. But if I put myself in a place like out on the couch or in the living room, then I have to work a lot harder to try and stay disciplined and focused. So tip number 2 is to find a dedicated place where it's easier for you to stay focused and to stay on track. If you don't have an office where you live, kind of section your house out, find a place, an area where you do go and work every day. Because I know a lot of us are working from home right now, and find a space for your house where it's easier for you to concentrate. And then when you want to go have fun or when you want to eat, go to a different section of your house. It sounds kind of weird, but I promise you it makes such a huge difference in your day. Tip number 3, make a list of what you're going to get done during the day. As small as this one might sound, this one is also another huge one for me. If I don't make a list every single day of things I need to get done during that day, I just have them in my brain and they're kind of just swimming around, and it's really overwhelming because you don't really know where to get started. And so for me, just the way that my brain works, I need to have a list. I need to have something that I can check off throughout the day. Because 1, it's rewarding. Every time I do get something done, I get to mark it off during the day. And 2, it just helps me stay on track. If I don't have it written down, it's just in my brain. And if it's in my brain, it's really hard to grab and to get done and to sit down and to try and work on it. And so the way that I use this into my routine is I use an app called ToDoList. And I'll put a link in that in the description of this video. But essentially, after I get back from my walk in the morning, first thing I do is I come into my office and I write down a list of things that I gotta get done during that day. And I just use that app, and it's really great. I have it on my phone, on my computer, on my laptop, everywhere I need, so it's all transferable. No matter where I'm at, I'm able to see the next thing I have to get done. And tip number 4, the final thing I want to share for this video, is take it easy. The reason being is we can be so incredibly critical of ourselves, and especially we can be so critical of what we get done during the day. We put so much of our value as people on how much we're able to get accomplished from our list that day, or how ambitious our goals are, or all these things that are put on things that we do, we put our self-worth on. Or if we ever feel a little bit off or lazy or distracted in any sort of way, we can be so critical on ourselves. And the problem with that is not only it doesn't necessarily do anything to help your day, kind of just makes you beat up on yourself, but it also transfers to the next day. If you feel lazy today and you don't get as much done, you're gonna wake up tomorrow thinking, I'm unmotivated, I can't concentrate, I'm lazy. And so you're gonna get less done during that day. And the more that we start to put these beliefs into ourselves, and the more that we start to internalize these things, the harder they are to break. And again, they transfer from day to day to day. Sometimes we think if we're hard on ourselves, we'll push ourselves more. But in my experience, and again, as a coach, a lot of my clients, their experience is when you're hard on yourself, you just become less motivated and you get less done because you're hard on yourself. It's like if you believe that you're really productive, if you believe that you're really motivated and you trust yourself to get done what you need to do, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get done what you need to do. But if you don't trust yourself to get done what you need to do, and you're constantly telling yourself these lies about yourself and these bad beliefs, you're gonna be so much less productive. And so again, this is the most important tip probably out of all of them, because belief matters so much into what you do during the day. And so trust me, it's so much more worth it to believe positive things about yourself than it is to try and be self-critical of yourself, to think that that's gonna make you do more and to work better. It's not. The more that you trust yourself, believing that you are gonna get done everything that you set out to get done, I promise you that will make you so much more productive and you'll actually get those things done. I hope you got something out of this video. I hope these things will apply to you. And if these things are helpful for you, please subscribe to the channel. I'm posting videos every single Monday. My whole hope with this channel is to help people get out of autopilot a little bit and to do things that scare them and to build better habits and to overall just be in a better mental state. So again, if you like this video, like it, subscribe, share it, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks everybody.